but I think now it
I mean,
might
I
be
assume
working.
we're live.
I assume we're live too. Just make sure the sound is right. And I was there. Hello, Martin.
Hello, Char.
How are you?
I'm very good.
Yeah.
I'm very excited because we are continuing something that we started. When did we even start?
Well, it's really a long time ago, but I noticed that the last time I had put a comment in the document was in January 2022. So it's been a while since we've had a look at our story. It's been a while since we actually got moving with it.
Yeah.
And so now we're here and we are getting moving with it. So just so people know what it is that we're actually up to, I'm going to just share here a piece of what's actually happening. So our story is called Solomon's Chains, and Mara and I got the idea for this. It's like actually it was when we first started playing around with large language models.
That is true.
And we started playing with, like, when we were making our first tool, LAIKA, where you could fine tune large language models. We started thinking about how fun it would be to make mashups between several different types of things. And one of the things he came up with was the idea of a modern cosmic horror, so using kind of a Lovecraft brain, with a hint of marriage plot using one of our Jane Austen brains. And that really stuck with us and made us excited. And then Mar made another brain, made the
hacker
crypto
brain.
brain.
The crypto brain.
Yeah. And the crypto brain gave us a lot of different ideas as well. And then we made a religious brain. And so kind of combining the religious brain, the crypto brain, the Jane Austen brain, and the H.P. Lovecraft brain, we started thinking about this whole story called Solomon's Chains, which is about a religious academic called Viola, who works in a university, and a guy called Ralph, who's kind of a crypto bro, and he has come to find out some information about something demonic that he's found while working on the blockchain. And together, him and Viola...
I have a correction there.
You have a correction?
Because the thing is that Ralph is not a crypto bro. Ralph is a hacker. He's a white hat hacker.
He's a hacker, yeah.
He's a security expert. He doesn't even know that much about crypto. And that's important because it's a plot device to be able to introduce concepts like on a light level, like how the blockchain works. And it also only makes it possible that, because otherwise he would just look at the blockchain and be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And he's just, what?
Yeah. So, okay, very, very good point, Mar. He is not a crypto bro. He's a hacko bro.
Hacko bro.
Yeah. So yeah, our idea is basically this story, which kind of slowly unravels over time, which basically connects to the Solomonic Goetic demons living on the blockchain and being released by a shadowy entity, and only Ralph and Viola are going to be able to stop them. Perhaps or perhaps not, with the help of Viola's mentor in the university, Professor Theor, who's a bit of a weird character. What do we know about Professor Theor, Mar?
We actually know very little about him. What we do know is that he's not really a very, let's say, approachable figure. Mm-hmm. So he has he hates students, which a lot of professors do. He doesn't even list his real phone number. He lists the phone number of his most least liked Indian takeaway as his office phone number on his website. His office that he has put on the internal website of the university is also not his office is not where the room number that shows up on the internal website. So he's very secretive. He is a religious scholar of I don't know what kind of breed he is. Something old, I would guess. But he seems to be a real weirdo.
A real weirdo. So let's get back to our what we have so far. So back here we've basically put our content here into the Writers Room, which is our product that we've made now. And you can try it out at writewithlaika.com. Absolutely free to use a little bit every day. And you can, give it a go and see what you think. So we've put in the first part of our content here, which is like our kind of first chapter or the first part of the first chapter. And let's just ask Ichi, who's our good summarizing character. He'll just summarize what we have here in the first part of the script. I hope. So he's saying, Ralph, a cybersecurity expert, reveals to Professor Viola McNeil cryptic symbols found on a blockchain linked to his previous employer. The symbols appear to reference Person, one of 72 alleged goetic demons summoned by King Solomon. Through translation of the Enochian language, it becomes apparent that the symbolism corresponds with the intended production volume of blocks currency units by the firm, raising suspicions of malicious intentions.
Well,
that's not
he
bad.
absolutely got it there.
Yeah. So that's a good summary of what's happened. Basically, all that we've seen so far is that Ralph comes to Viola's office, says he wants to understand what these symbols are that he's found. Was looking for Professor Theor, but of course could not get through to him. So is asking Viola to have a look instead. And Viola has a look, and Viola finds out, is able to decode what is there, and finds that it's that it's basically something to do with one of the demons who's called Person. And that's basically where we've left it. So what we want to do now is get into our next chapter and start writing the next part. So, Mar, what's the first thing you want to do?
Well, I mean, they sat down, they found out Person, and I think Viola will get super nervous now and wants to talk to her mentor, her boss,
Yes.
Theor. She realizes this is like maybe above her pay grade.
Yes. So
Yes, Theor is an expert in demonology, and this is a demon, so he's the man.
Okay, so we're going to start with just Viola will want to consult with Professor Theor. I'm just writing notes here, so we can have that. And then what else would we want to have happen here today? Well, we want to find out what happens with Professor Theor. One of our ideas about Professor Theor and how he would work is that everything he says would be completely generated by a large language model.
We might write the beginning of the sentences too, because we will use LAIKA for that and not one of the companions.
Yeah.
So it needs a little bit of something to work with.
Yeah, but we want him to be quite strange and unusual. So that's where we're going with him.
Yes.
So what else would we want to find here, Mar?
Well, I mean, we know that in the end they will go to the actual crypto bros, the company that hired Ralph to check on their security.
Yeah. Bad at typing today. It's too hot here. My fingers are sweaty. They'll want to hunt down what would this be, Mar? The folks who set up this blockchain, basically.
Yeah, who hired him?
Who hired Ralph?
We already know that they didn't set up the blockchain, but maybe they don't know yet. But it's still clear that way.
Okay.
They have to have a really ridiculous name.
Yes,
they have
definitely.
to be like super generic.
I think we need to get one of our LAIKA brains to make a good name for them, or maybe Alex.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. So we're going to start, I guess, by getting towards Professor Theor.
I mean, this is very little to work with. We know that they will not learn a lot from Professor Theor, right?
Okay.
Because otherwise they wouldn't go to the company.
Yeah, but what they will learn that Professor Theor is odd and potentially up to something.
I don't think that they learn yet that he's up to something.
Okay, at this point, we don't learn a lot from Professor Theor. Okay. So then basically we're going to go to consult with Professor Theor. Yeah. We're going to learn what we can from Professor Theor, and then when that proves to be not as exciting as we might want it to be, we want to hunt down the folks who hired Ralph.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well then, perhaps we should get started.
Didn't you also want to have some spooky element in there?
I did want to have a spooky element. Spooky element.
Spooky element. So the tug of war we have here is that I'm like pushing the whole story into some weird like tech crime hacker story, and you're pushing the story into the horror realm, and we both have the hope that it ends up in this sweet spot where it's exactly in the middle. Yeah,
I feel like the first chapter did pretty nicely with that.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess one of the things we could try now is we're basically, this is what Viola has found this, and so I think what's going to happen now is Viola is going to I think we're going to have Viola basically saying to Ralph, it's time to, I know how to get to Professor Theor.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, think it's time to introduce you to Professor Theor. Okay, and then I wondered, would Ralph have something here to say about, but nobody knows where he is, or no, it's just sure, whatever,
yeah.
fine, okay. So, Viola leads the way out of her office and down the corridor. Past the janitor's closet, past the yellowing fragments of posters advertising events several years ago, and past a stack of abandoned, broken chairs.
Yeah, she has to warn him somehow.
Yeah. So.
Just so you know.
Just so you know, Professor Theor is an unusual man. Let's just stops in front of
simple wooden door.
Simple wooden door, yeah. We might ask Alex for a bit more location details there. Professor Theor is an unusual man. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally, no matter what he says to you. What would Ralph do here?
Looks puzzled.
Looks puzzled.
No, it's too cheap, isn't
it? Ralph nods and follows her. And follows her through the doorway.
So I think people can't see what
we're
typing
can't
that
see
easily.
Anymore.
So
Okay.
let's
We'll scroll down. Got to keep it always about halfway up. Okay. So yeah.
So let's get some more locational detail.
Okay, let's get some more location detail.
Good.
Okay. Maybe this part here, yeah. Just ask Alex for some location details. See what we get.
Yeah, he knows it's a school. How does he know it's a school?
Maybe the janitor's closet. Scribbled graffiti. Forgotten love affairs and pranks. A rusty chain hangs from the ceiling. Its purpose lost time. A faint humming comes from somewhere.
That is good.
The humming is the one.
Yeah.
Okay. So where will this humming take place? She stops in front of a simple wooden door, from behind which, this is very clumsy, but
that emits or that emanates.
That emits, yeah.
That emits.
Into a simple wooden door.
From or from which emanates.
From which that's the one. From which emanates a faint humming sound.
Yes.
Okay, good. Love the faint humming sound. Thanks so much, Alex.
We will not explain it, right?
No. And I think we'll actually also I just want to catch something about Professor Theor here, also from Alex. I'm just going to see if we can get a nice character trait here.
Lysander?
They're a guide for navigating relationships with peculiar professors.
Try it again.
I'll try again. Because that's not what I want. Although Alex is maybe telling us that Theor should have a secretary.
Oh.
You were describing a professor named Theor. I will create a character named Zara. Okay, I'm gonna.
But I mean, Sarah could be in there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Zara could be in there.
Then we can bring her back as something later.
That's true. We could
But
do that.
it would actually. Is that clumsy? I like the idea of him not being alone, someone leaving, and it not being explained what is actually
Well, that's the
going
thing.
on.
It's just like follows
Yeah.
Viola through the doorway. Where they almost trip over a fleeing student.
She should say something cryptic.
Student hurrying to escape, hurrying to leave. Yeah, what would she say?
Like Viola knows her.
Yeah. No, she wouldn't say what's wrong yet. Sarah, what's your step? Viola cries. Zara doesn't pause for a second, muttering over her shoulder. He's in one of those moods.
No. She doesn't know him that well.
She doesn't
Students
know him
don't
that
talk
well?
like this about their professors. Not to
Not to
another
another
professor.
Okay, what would one of your students say to you if if they were?
I think she
Passive
should
you.
mutter something already quite incoherent. Something that like where we lack the context to understand it.
Okay, so maybe we should actually get one of our LAIKA brains to write.
Yeah. Flaws of Evil is actually maybe the best one.
Perfect. Flowers of Evil it is, muttering over her shoulder. Let's see. I love Flowers of Evil. Whips a burst of violet light into the gloom. Let's see what else there is. Do some alternates.
That is actually not bad.
I see your future's bright, but I'm not sure yet. That part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gone with the rest. Or maybe she trails off, but
Deciphered. I'm not exactly sure here. I mean, you know, it's a first
yeah,
draft. It's a first draft. It can't be amazing to
that
start.
will be rewritten.
Yeah. Okay, so Viola or Zara's left. So now we have a new character called Zara that we have to somehow fumble in later on. But for the moment, Zara has just left
Yeah.
and has said something cryptic. And now we're going into the room to look for Professor Theor.
I think we let Sarah vanish later. Like actively
Oh yeah.
vanish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a
I
good
don't know
idea.
why yet, but
No.
she's exactly the kind of character that can vanish now,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Okay. So we're walking into Professor Theor's office. Zara has rushed out between us and
Yeah.
we're going inside. What do we see? I feel like we
Yeah.
don't see Professor Theor. We see like a desk that's stacked so high with books that there's like,
That is a beautiful image.
is that
yeah.
a nice image?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's pretty dim lighting there. Like
Yeah.
the curtains are drawn closed.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
The curtains are drawn a very a dim and sickly light hangs in the room, illuminating Professor Theor's desk. not Professor Theor. The desk is piled high with books and manuscripts. Books and manuscripts. And approaches the
pile, the castle, the tower. No, not the tower. Maybe not approaches, but she should walk around it, because approaching is like, and one look
and disappears behind them
before circumnavigating.
Yeah. Yeah, what is a good word? Not pile, not tower, not stack.
Well, actually, the towering stacks is maybe not the worst.
Okay.
Finally, towering stacks or stacked towers. No.
Viola, a voice drier than bone, rasps. This is
Okay, rasps.
yeah.
I don't think he says more. She says something next.
Okay.
Like if you rasp Viola, what would you possibly follow that up with? He obviously, I don't think he will say a single word that is more informative than that.
Good day, Professor Theor. Theor, I'm here with a visitor. This is Ralph. I'm so bad at typing today. This is Ralph. Ralph joins Viola. Or Ralph peeks around the stack.
Yeah, I was to say tentatively maybe. Stack to see a shriveled figure or something like that.
Do you think Professor Theor is shriveled? I think he's
Yeah.
actually quite looming. I think he's
Looming?
quite. I think he's quite
Yeah.
like menacing and dominating.
Okay,
When I
yeah.
thought about Professor Theor
Yeah.
before, what was coming into my mind was the guys in Dark City. You know, the
Okay,
movie
yeah.
Dark City. That kind
Yeah.
of big
Yeah.
looming, wearing a black suit, kind
Yeah.
of look like you've got all your life sucked out of you, but
Yeah.
like, but you're still quite imposing.
Okay, yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
I like that.
Yeah?
That, yeah.
To see an imposing figure dressed all in black. Professor Theor could be 45 years old or 75 years old. It's impossible to tell in this gloom. But one thing is for certain. He is not friendly. Okay, so now we need. I don't think Professor Theor even needs to say anything
Mhm.
to Ralph. He just can give him a withering
Mhm.
glare. Maybe he is not friendly. His withering glare is not friendly.
Yes.
So I think like Viola will tell without we don't have to go into all we don't have to say it all again because we've already done that in the first chapter. But Viola will tell Professor Theor what's going on, and then show him the person
Yeah. Yeah.
writing
Mm-hmm.
the thing about the demon,
Yeah.
and then from there, then we're going to just start seeing what kind of interesting thing Theor
Yeah.
could say using some LAIKA brains.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So his withering glare is not friendly. Viola quickly fills him in quickly, fills him in on what they've learned so far. And when she reads him the translation of the person, what did we call it before? Was it a verse? The translation.
Fragment, maybe.
And she reads him the translated fragment about person. He winces. Cutting her off. And she starts to read him. Okay. Not in my office, Viola. You know as well as I do that. Now, I think it's time for a little piece of weirdness. Do you have any feelings about a brain? I have, as you know, not only the public brains, but very, very
What do
many.
you have down there? Algernon Blackwood could, of course, work.
Yeah. We also have
the Book of Thoth, yeah.
I was thinking perhaps
Le Fanu.
we can have Huysmans. He's
Huysmans.
quite
Let's give it a try, yeah.
So for people who are watching and don't know Huysmans, he's an extremely strange writer,
accountant
from the late 1800s in France, and writes very strange books. But I don't know.
He was actually a state employed. He wasn't an accountant. He was, I think, a lawyer for the French state or something like that. He had a super boring day job, and all of his books are about like they start in the strange day job, and then they go into some kind of proto-cosmic horror.
Yeah.
Occult weirdo segment.
But he's also quite an interesting character because he became like he was very into all kinds of strange occultism, and I think he was actually even like a kind of a proto-Satanist for a while, which is like what the the Damned book that we've read is kind of about, these kind of strange Satanists in Paris in the late 1800s. But then he had a whole conversion into Catholicism in his later life and became very, very devout and basically rejected everything that he had done in the past. It's super interesting. Okay, so the first thing it gives us is you're the people I can confide to. I don't think that's true.
No.
I keep my letters here. This man is a monster.
I don't like any of these.
I don't like any of these. Let's try someone else.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what I was thinking when I was picking this up was maybe we should try a little bit of the interface series or something like that.
Yeah, try it. Yeah.
The office is full of traps. Okay, this is definitely much.
It's
more
not well written,
in the
but
shape.
it is a very good.
It's the shape.
It's actually not bad. Yeah.
Let's see what else there is for the alternates. Forbidden to discuss or things with strangers. Best not to discuss things with people who might try to kill you. That's good. That's very paranoid. Very Theor. And this is not my place. This is not my story. God, I actually like all of these. What do you think, Mark? We've got traps. We've got strangers. And we've got this is not my place. I mean, this one, I like this, but it's not really giving anything to the story.
It's
just
not helping.
kind of poetic. So it's kind of between the traps or the strangers. I think it's probably the traps.
I think it's the traps, and we just remove everything from after the office is full of traps.
Yeah. And we just say this place instead of the office.
Yeah.
This place is full of traps, and that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe would he say anything else here, or are we?
I think I should make a little bit more space here because it's confusing for people.
Ah, okay.
I was just confused. So,
I wonder if he's going to say anything else here, or is he going to see if he can meet with them later?
yeah, we haven't planned for that actually. It's a little bit of a bad start when he immediately interrupts it, and now we're leaving again, or what?
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, we want him to give us something.
Yeah. You know what we do? Like, this is a good sentence. We keep it for later. But I think for now, actually, we don't discuss this with strangers is good. He wants to get Ralph out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And she explains that Ralph is not a stranger. Something like that.
But he is. He only just came to her office like half an hour ago. So he is still a stranger. Yeah.
There's no reason to kick Ralph out. Like, it doesn't help us with the story.
I don't want to kick Ralph out.
Yeah.
I just want him to say something now.
Yeah.
Because I think this is perfect. It's like, this is perfect because it's already showing that this guy knows that talking about these things is already dangerous.
Yeah.
This is already dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Maybe just. The problem is.
But maybe like
it's not about not in my office. It's like he does something now to make the place safe. Something very weird, magical. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, it's like we don't make it not in my office. We make it.
Wait, Viola.
Wait a second, Viola. Something like that.
Wait, Viola. You know as well as I do that this place is full of traps.
Or it's not safe, maybe. Or it may be full of traps. It's good because someone has put up the traps.
He rises from behind the stacks of books, taller than Ralph would have thought possible. Well, that's not really how people are. Taller than Ralph would have expected.
The quality of the light has to change when he does what he does.
Yeah. A looming figure. He makes strange movements. In all four directions.
He mumbles also a bit.
Yeah. Mumbling.
In a language Ralph doesn't understand.
Mumbling incomprehensibly. Ralph raises an eyebrow at Viola. And she shakes her head.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then after a while he claps. He's not good at it.
Professor Theor claps loudly. At which moment the dim light flickers.
It
then
takes on a blue hue or something.
Yeah. Lovely, love that. It takes on a bluish, is that how it's called?
Bluish is better, yeah.
A bluish hue.
Bluish hue.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like that a lot. Okay. That's better. Now we can talk.
That's. Shouldn't he say something like, let me see this or something? Because she has a note, right? Or does she not have a note? No, she doesn't. No, she has a note.
She has the piece that she translated. Yeah.
Yeah, he grabs, maybe he grabs it or something from her.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not now we can talk, maybe it's let me have a look at this. I think he should just fetch it from her.
Yeah, that's better.
He's not a nice guy.
He grabs the translation from Viola's hands and sits down to study it more closely. Okay, so I mean, we know what it says. I'm just going to scroll up so we can remember. We know that 72, and then we know that it's person. But Ralph and Viola don't know anything about person yet. Only Professor Theor is going to know about that. So if we take ourselves back down here, he'll say something about person now.
Yes.
He'll say something small about person, and then he will want to get rid of them.
Yes, but he will also tell them to not pursue this any further.
Yes, and it will be clear that he is now in a little bit of a hurry himself.
Yeah.
Because he's now seen something that he needs to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, person. That is Prince of Hell, and he.
Well, we have some notes about. Okay.
We have notes.
Okay. But we also know.
Bit of Arthur Machen, maybe.
Try it.
Yeah. See what we get. Oh.
That's too honest.
Yeah. I don't believe he ever leaves London. No, sorry, Arthur. You're not the right shape. You're not the right shape for this one. You're not quite what we're looking for. The King in Yellow might be it.
We're gonna try.
Yeah.
I think we should just try a handful.
Few things.
You have so much good stuff, and we need one of those obscure oldie worldy lads to help us with that, because that's how I imagine Theor.
He's my cousin.
What do you think of his bloodline?
And he knows it. And he is a friend to the wicked.
Oh.
Okay. That's
Just keep he's a friend of the wicked.
Yeah.
That's a very good line.
He is a friend to the wicked. My dear. So it's glancing at Viola from beneath a firm brow. I suggest you bid this young man good day, and you forget you ever saw.
It's somehow a little bit too simple.
Yeah.
And too straight.
Yeah.
I don't think he would care enough about Viola or Ralph.
No, he doesn't care about them. He just wants them to not be a pest.
Does he even care about that?
Because maybe he doesn't believe that they could even be a pest.
Exactly. I think they. Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically just, my dear, I'm going now.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
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 My dear.
He should still do the power move of kicking them out, right? Yeah.
My dear. I expect the students to waste my time, but not you. Please take these superstitious nonsense away. I have things to do. As Viola and Ralph leave his office. They hear. What do they hear?
Do they hear the humming again? No.
The humming is non-stop.
The humming is
But do they hear, like, I mean, I was going to say, do they hear him on the phone? He seems the kind of guy who doesn't really pick up the phone.
no. Yeah.
It's maybe like as they're not as they leave the office,
Frantic
as they go
scribbling or
back,
something?
as they go back down the corridor. Head back down the corridor. They hear the door slam
Ah, yeah, that's good, yeah.
and turn to see Professor Theor racing down the hall with several tomes under one arm.
Hmm.
Is that?
I think then it's better. Like the I have things to do is somehow a sentence I don't like. Can it be I have to be somewhere or something like that?
Yeah. I have
Or yeah, I have
somewhere to be.
somewhere to be. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're
Mhm.
they're going down the corridor,
Mhm.
they hear the door slam, and they have several tomes under one arm.
Mhm.
So now what I think we know, we've got the consulting
Mm-hmm.
done.
Mm-hmm.
We know that they're not going to learn a lot
Mhm.
from him at this point. We've done that. The spooky element is kind of already there.
The
with
blue
him
light,
doing
yeah.
the blue light. So now we're going to want to hunt down the folks who hired Ralph. But what I
Okay.
think we should do now is try a plot twist
Mm-hmm.
from this
Mhm.
point here.
Yeah.
So Alex is good at that. So let's see what Alex gives us for a plot twist here. Cabin fever. Professor Theor becomes increasingly unhinged. He seeks out dangerous entities like the Prince of Hell. As the characters continue to navigate life occurrences, he realizes the professor's actions are
Plot
driven...
twist. This is not a plot twist.
Plot twist! The story! The professor's actions are driven by desperation and confinement-induced insanity. Okay, I don't like this one. I'm going to try one more, and then I'm also going to ask some of our other characters for a few of their ideas too, just to get some ideas. Okay, Viola gains some confidence. That's quite a journey of self-discovery and personal growth that takes place in 10 minutes of time. So, no. I'm going to have a little look here and ask Lotus for the theme as well. I'm just going to see, we're just going to try out a few of the companions and see what they have to offer. Okay, the characters' reactions and thoughts when faced with unfamiliar situations. That's a good point. They must have an emotion here, actually. So I'm just going to write emotion, just so you remember, okay? Emotion as they face unfamiliar situation. That's a good point.
I like how they are kind of already bound together by this experience.
Yeah.
Like they're in it together now.
Yeah.
It's very clear. It just happens by a common adversary or a common experience that they can bond over, and their common discovery, like their discovery that they had together somehow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that works.
Okay. Then I'm going to ask how it's going to resonate with readers as well. So I want all the, this is the moment of getting all the little bits together so we can bounce with. Somebody wants to learn about blockchains in an informative way. No, Lotus. No, that's not true. Let's try that again. Reactions of characters, okay. Okay. That's usually this is a much better one. That was a surprisingly not so good for Lotus. Lotus is usually more acute than that. And then just having a look at another way to look at it. Physical sensations. Okay.
That's actually interesting.
Yeah. I
because
think
we had very little of that actually.
We
very
did,
much, yeah.
We could put in a little bit of physical sensation.
Like they're very much
here.
describing how they see someone else, but never how how it makes them feel. But maybe that's just the style of writing that we've
somehow gotten into.
into
but
together.
I think it's good. And physical.
But this is actually exactly, yeah.
Like, but also we can describe the
Yeah.
physical sensations as they refer to the emotion.
Yeah.
Okay, and I just wanted to do one more thing, which was
Mhm.
ask Kevin for a tarot card.
Of course. Of course, but only for the last sentence, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The Prince of Wands appearing now signifies that Viola and Ralph's quick thinking and bold actions may lead them to discoveries and opportunities hidden within the walls around them. They must remain vigilant against potential harsh judgment from others.
Mhm.
Okay, I really like
Okay.
hidden in the walls.
You know what?
Rats in the walls. Yeah.
They are standing in this corridor.
Yeah.
He runs away. What if the physical sensation that they have is that of the walls closing in on them? Something like that?
That could be. What if the physical sensation they have is hearing the humming getting louder? Well, it
Yeah, but
seems
it
like it's
wouldn't
coming
when
from
he's
inside the
when
walls.
he's leaving.
Okay, so basically you're saying because Professor Theor is leaving and he had kind of made that kind of protective
Yeah,
space around them. When he leaves, everything gets more.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, I like
yeah.
that. Okay, let's put that in.
But maybe it's earlier.
At which point?
Well, maybe like before. Maybe that's only in the room they're in with Professor Theor, and he claps in his hands again. The walls come in, poof,
Oh.
and then they have the leaving experience.
okay.
Don't you think it makes more
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Claps again. Claps once more.
And they have the real urge to leave in that moment.
Yeah.
Both of them.
And the atmosphere in the room shifts completely. Viola and Ralph are overcome with the sudden urge to leave immediately. The air seems thinner, the walls closer.
Yes.
The walls closer. And the presence of the professor almost unbearable.
No,
Too
I
much?
think they have to feel like they are the intruders.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Okay. The walls.
Like they feel like they don't belong there. And not that the
Yeah.
professor doesn't belong.
Okay. How would we write this? How do we write that? The air seems thinner. How does that feel in the body? Air seems thinner. The walls closer. And they can feel in their bones
They're all of place.
how much their presence is unwanted, how unwanted their presence is.
I don't think it's about unwanted. It's more about how unfitting their presence is.
Yeah.
Like they just don't belong there anymore. That is how it arrives to them.
Mhm.
But maybe I'm super specific in that. I just have a feeling in my bones.
So could you say that? They can feel what the air seems thinner, the walls closer, and they can feel, and they feel.
It feels like the room is kicking them out.
Yeah.
That's not how we can write it either.
Well, maybe we just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Seems thinner, the walls closer. and they can't fight. They need to get out.
Yeah. Does this need a bridge sentence to them,
Yeah.
or is it fine?
Wordlessly walk back out of the
Rush.
room.
Maybe even.
Wordlessly scuttle.
Yeah, you would also.
I wonder if Zara had the same kind of situation. They back out of the room and wordlessly.
I think rush is really not the
Rush.
worst. Don't you think?
Rush
Because
down the corridor.
that's actually exactly how Sarah was also kicked out. So now readers can think that this is just how Theo gets rid of people.
Yeah. As they do, they hear the door slam. And now Theo is racing down the hall. Maybe he's striding. He's not in such
Yeah,
a
he's
hurry.
not racing.
Several tomes under one arm. Okay. I think we've put in a bit of emotion, physical
Yeah.
sensation there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is actually pretty good. Maybe we actually just need we just need Viola and Ralph to decide, okay, Theor, not the most useful. Let's instead track down the people who hired you and see what's going on there. So that we really just need that, I think, is the end
But do you think at this point, like, Viola knows Ralph for half an hour now?
Yeah, maybe.
At this point, she would like, let's go there together? Will they go there together?
No, I think she'd probably tell Ralph to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then she would probably go home.
Yeah.
And she'd say, I'll keep working on the translation.
Yeah.
And you find out what's going on there.
Yeah.
And then let's have a call later.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you should. Well, what is he going to find out from the people who hired him? About this. See if they have any ideas. And I'll keep working on the translation.
But is there more to translate?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was just the first line.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. See if they have any ideas, and I'll keep working on the translation. Sounds better than talking to Professor Theodore. I'll call you later. But maybe, let's see.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to bridge the part of Theo striding down the hall with them kind of making the plan or deciding what to do next.
Do they shiver? Like, this is honestly, I would laugh.
A nervous laugh.
Yeah.
Okay, Ralph.
Yeah, that's actually much
I
better.
think you should ask the people who hired you about this. See if they have any ideas. And I'll keep working on the translation so we have more to go on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds better than forcing to Professor Thier again. Call you later? Viola nods. And Finn! Maybe we don't even need to say anything.
Yeah, I think it's a good
It's
ending.
just-
Yeah. I mean, it's anyway just a skeleton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what Ichi says for the summary of chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
They meet Professor Thier, who rejects their theory as superstitious nonsense. Unsettled, they leave without elaborating and plan to seek guidance from those who hired them on next steps.
Well, it seems like it is clear what we have.
Pretty clear.
This is more or less what we set out to write. Like,
Yes.
he doesn't get the subtext, but
Yeah. So should we have a little quick glance at what we're planning to do in chapter 3?
in chapter
should we leave it
3,
here?
maybe we can just chat about it for a second.
Yeah.
So we know that Ralph goes to the Crypto Bros, and it's supposed to be the fun chapter. At
Yes.
least I think it could be really fun. So yeah, for everyone who's familiar, like we're familiar enough with crypto speak
Yeah.
to find it funny. So it's gonna have a lot of very good business plans and
Yes.
very good words like layer. There will be several things with layers, I guess, and on chain, and what
It's
else?
on the chain.
It's on chain. And what else? What is a very blockchainy? What terms do they always have? Trust. Trust is very important. The concept of trust being that you cannot trust anyone unless it is written on the blockchain, which is the opposite of trust, because that's just proof. But and so they will really. The idea that I had for that chapter is that they only speak in hot air.
Yeah.
So Ralph doesn't learn anything. The only thing he learns is they have no clue.
They have no clue. But isn't there also something, weren't you going to learn something about where to go? Like, how are we going to know where to go next?
Viola finds it.
Okay,
Viola finds it on the
Okay.
while doing the translations.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, maybe we'll try it again a little bit more, get a
Yep.
bit more in next week.
Yes,
Shall we do a little high five, Mark?
absolutely. I think do we do it with camera? That's a very good high five.
And if you have been watching here with us today, know that you can try out the Writers Room anytime you like. It's at writewithlaika.com. And if you have any ideas for Viola and Ralph's excellent adventure in the realms of blockchain demons, please do reach out and let us know. Send us a little comment, send us a mail, hello@writewithlaika.com, and we'd be happy to incorporate. So, I think that's it for us.
Yes.
All
Goodbye,
right.
everyone.
Bye.